I'm sure that you would agree that one of the worst ways to spend our days is in unproductive meetings. Have you ever been in a meeting where you thought, oh my God, this is taking twice as long as it should? Or why are we meeting on this again? You look at your schedule and you've got a bunch of meetings. I've got two simple, easy things that you can do to drastically cut down the amount of time you spend in unproductive meetings. You know, I recently got asked by a client, John, what's a business practice I can release at the end of the year so that I start my new year with more momentum? I can get more done. I can be more successful. And the number one thing I suggested was cut out unproductive meetings. So here are two simple things that you can do. And they are related to something called Parkinson's Law. Now, I had never heard of this concept referred to as Parkinson's Law, but I knew about the concept, and I'm sure that you will know it when I mention it as well. But first, my name is John Boggs. I am the co-founder of the Brave Thinking Institute, where I also serve as CEO and founder of our business and leadership division. And I love the idea of cutting out unproductive meetings. Now, we do need to meet. Things do need to get done. Decisions need to be made. We need to brainstorm and solve challenges and problems. And so it isn't that meetings aren't valuable, but there are two things that we can do that can make the meetings more productive, more concise, and more empowering to everybody that is spending time in the meeting. The first thing that we can do is we can immediately challenge the length of time that's needed for the meeting. So here's my experiment. Here's my challenge to you. Go into the new year asking yourself in every single moment when you're in meetings, is there a way that we could get the meeting done in half the amount of time that we believe? And this is where Parkinson's Law comes in. Parkinson's Law states that activities or tasks will fill whatever the allotted time given is for their completion. If we think something's going to take an hour, we will fill an hour to get it done. You give a team a challenge or a task and tell them to get it back to you in a week, they're going to take a week to do it. You tell them 2 days, it's amazing how often they can get it done with just as much ease and flow and grace. We're not talking about push or rush energy. Activities will fill the amount of time that we allot for their completion. So ask yourself, could this meeting get done in a half an hour instead of an hour? Could we meet for 15 minutes instead of 30 minutes? Simply by starting with the idea of cutting the amount of time in half, it is amazing how many productive meetings, decisions, brainstorms can be accomplished in half the amount of time. So that's the first tip for cutting out or eliminating unproductive meetings. The second tip is this: always start the meeting with whatever the outcome that you desire is in writing and verbalizing it. The desired outcome for this meeting is, and be very clear and focused what the outcome of the meeting is. It's a decision that we need to make. It's a policy that we're trying to create. It's a commitment we're trying to come to as a team. What is the outcome that you're looking from the meeting? Maybe the meeting is just to inform. The reason we're meeting is to inform you of a plan. Well, how long does it take to review the plan? So those two moves, cutting the time in half as a default move, and then always starting the meeting by describing what the outcome is, can make a massive difference. Now, here's a bonus tip. Include for the sake of what? For the sake of what? Here's the desired outcome, for the sake of what? That's a bonus tip. But you do that, you're going to have way more productive meetings. You're going to have much more time to accomplish whatever it is. Your amount of time to do is going to expand. The amount of time in bureaucratic meetings that really feel unproductive is going to shrink. You're going to get a lot more done and be way more successful. Now, what business practice do you believe, if you were to release, would make a big difference as you're looking for more success in the new year? I'd love to know. It's your turn. Go ahead, if you would. Put in the comments something that you think, if you were to release, would create more success for you, because I would love to include it in my own practices as we're looking for a more successful year. If you're new to the community, let me say welcome. I'm glad you're here. Go ahead and follow, like, subscribe, share the video with somebody that you care about. And until we're together again in the future, always remember to think bravely and act boldly.